So welcome back to more of these digestible bites of traditional Tai Chi. And the thing is that they add up. So here we are, and by the end of today's session, you'll have, the different ways of counting the number of moves, but in one way of counting, you'll have gotten up to move number 8. And some people say that if you've learned the first 16 moves, that's the first third of the Chen Man Ching Yang style. And some people feel like that's really all the moves you need to have a full Tai Chi practice. And so you're halfway there to the 16 moves, the first 16 moves of the Chen Man Ching Yang style, just with these consistent little bites where we keep adding a little bit more each time. And today we're actually going to just add one more move. But this move has some turns and some stances and some things that we just want to make sure that we build a real solid foundation for from the beginning. And so let's actually just review the turn that we use to come into ward off right. So for this, we're going to shift our weight first to the left and turning out our right foot, stepping forward into our square stance, bringing that hip round so that our hips and shoulders are facing forward. We're sitting. And without kind of fussing with our arms, just letting our arms be by our sides, coming all the way to where all of our weight's on our left leg, and then turning the unweighted leg out to point to the right wall. And maybe even just go ahead and place your hands here on your hips to have that awareness of your hips. And as you shift your weight onto the right leg and swivel those hips towards the right wall, notice how you then turn in that back foot for knee safety. At least 45 degrees in. And then shifting back and forth here. Like we were joking about at the end of last time. Just noticing instead of the lean, the spine just stays vertical and tall. And we just shift our chair back and forth. And now as we shift to the back, we're going to turn the unweighted leg this time so that the toe points towards the front of the room. And if we don't quite have the hip flexibility or anything that constrains our movement in that way, we just will take a step. But the movement is to kind of pigeon toe that toe as much towards the front as possible. This is going to be key for future knee safety, as you'll see later in the session today. And let's see how it feels to shift weight onto that leg. There's a kind of a folding. Chen Man Ching, we used to talk about like kind of catching your clothes in the crease right there as you fold in towards that leg. And then just give all that a little bit of a shake. The foundations of our lower body is what gives the ease of our upper body. Can't actually separate them out. Let's bring this in with the upper body arm movement review from the beginning. Opening move. We weight shift left, turning out the right foot, letting that knee track that right foot. Ward off left. Holding our beach ball now, all of our weight onto the left leg. And this is with a turn that we just practiced, turning the right foot out to the right wall. Ward off right now with the arms. And now the hips swivel round, turning in the back leg. Fingers in towards the palm of the right hand. Fingers in towards the wrist as we roll back. 100% weight shift to the back. Swivel and swing and press as we come forward. And then we shift back again. All these weight shifts with our lower body. And then we shift towards the front again. And to come into our next move, which is single whip. This is the move we're learning here today. Having a sense almost like someone has grabbed onto your wrists so that the wrists are going to stay about where they are. And you shift your weight back. So you kind of scoot your chair back. And that's what straightens your arms. So just coming back into push again. You might be, looking over your shoulder at the video. And that sense of, instead of shooting your arms out straight, that's what we're not going to be doing. Instead, it's like our wrists and hands stay basically where they are. And we shift our chair back so that there's more space. And our arms straighten that way. And then we come around. And as we move our arms in parallel towards the front, we're going to turn in that back foot like we've been practicing. Taking a step if we want. And then shifting our weight onto the back leg here. And we're going to draw our fingers round into what's called single whip. So our fingers just gather around the thumb. And it's a bit close here to our lower hand, wrist soft. And that single whip is going to come right towards the front. And then this is the tricky part. We're going to open out into square stance facing the left wall. So swinging that left leg around so that you can come into square stance by bringing also your left hand round to the front. Swiveling your hips, turning the back foot in, and flipping the left hand to face the left wall. And your single whip has come along for the ride here. So that it's a little bit like an L shape. And we're in square stance, facing the left wall. Going for a bit of a walkabout. I said, yeah, we're just going to be learning one move today, but I didn't say that move includes things in all three directions. Here we are. Seeing what it's like just to find your square stance facing the right wall, the right leg forward, coming into the end of push. And we shift our weight back. The arms go long with that extra space. We bring them in parallel to the front along with that back foot coming to the front. We shift our weight back and we make our single whip right here. And you might not notice this, but I have kind of peeled off the back heel of my left foot. And then the single whip comes out to the front. Kind of use that to open out. Left hand, left foot comes out. And as I turn my hips to the left wall, I turn the back. I flip the left hand. And I find myself in square stance, facing the left wall, an L shape with my single whip. And this is really where having your square can be helpful, because as you see, we're kind of freestyling where our square stance is. It's very easy to go long or go wide, and just getting in the habit of sticking it, of landing right in square stance. Giving a shake, a walkabout. Coming into square stance facing right. Shifting the weight back. Arms go long. Turning in that back right hip and foot. Making our single whip. Opening out into full expression of single whip. And a nice thing to practice is that the turning of the foot and the flipping of the hand happen at the same time. And here we are, square stance, single whip, facing the left wall. Stepping the back foot up. Going for a walkabout. And putting this together one more time. End of push. Translating around, pigeon toeing in. Noticing how the toe facing front with the back foot is important for knee safety, so that we don't twist our knee as we come around here into the final full expression of single whip. And just some details here. In single whip, all the fingers are just gathering around the thumb. So all the fingers are touching the thumb. But relax, not pressing the thumb. And then the wrist is also kind of relaxed. It's a little bit feeling the weight of the hand itself. And that brings us up to move number 8. Halfway to the first 16 moves of the Chenman Ching Yang style. And already moving in all 3 directions. Let's end with 3 return to Uji. taking a moment just to be. And looking forward to continuing with building bit by bit so that you have these forms, these moving meditations, and all the benefits that can come from